Okay, hello guys. We are looking at strings in Python. So just before we get started, I want you to know the order we are going to. Meanwhile, if you are following this series, you should know that we started with data types, data structures. You can go back to watch all of these videos. So today we are looking at strings in Python. So we are going to look at what strings stand for. Then we jump right to using our Jupyter notebook to look at some of this concept. So before then, let's just go back and look at what some of these. So what are strings? Basically, what are strings? So in an easy term, a string is just a data type. I believe you understand what data type is. You can go back and watch data type. Though we have done data type in C language, we have done data type in Python. In this series, you can go back and watch it. You have integer data type, you have string, which we are talking about now, you have float, you have double, and other data types. So string is just one of the data types you have. And what are they? They are sequence of character, and they are used to represent and manipulate data. Basically, for data representation and to manipulate, you want to modify, you want to change something in a data, you can use a string to do that. So basically, the strings are in Python are immutable. That means they cannot be changed once they are created. I want you to hold that on one hand because we are going to look at that concept and how it works. And they are enclosed in either single or double quote. Take note of this because some we prefer it depends on your preference. Some decide to use a single quote or a double quote, but both will work as much as Python is concerned. So let's look at that concept we are talking about. So like we said earlier, they are sequence of character used to represent and manipulate data. So let's create one so that you can see how it works. So we can create a string called str, short for string, and we could use a single quote, just have that word boy. Then we can go ahead to print our string so that you see what the output is going to be. So I'll do string. So what I have here is a variable that is holding a string, and the name of my string is a boy enclosed in single quote. Like I said earlier, you can use double quote. Then I go ahead to print out the content of this, which is boy. So let's see if it's going to print out that. So if I hold shift enter to run this code, remember shift enter to run your code, and it's going to print out boy, which is the content of that string. I believe you understand what you have done here is just to print a string. So again, we could have a string of cars. Let's say we'll go ahead to say cars, and I'll just do equal. Then this time, let me use double quote to represent this series of cars. Let's say we have the BMW. Then we have, let me just do another one, Corolla. Then again, another brand of car, let's say Lexus. Sorry if your brand is not here, I'm sorry. So we could go ahead to do print, and we want to print out cars. So I want to print out that string. So if I hold shift enter to run the code, it's going to print this. They are joined together. So it's very easy. I just needed you to see how we do this. You see there, I'll just put a space there after, before the closing. Yeah, before the closing quote, I'll just add the space. So if I hold shift enter to run, you see it's going to add that space there. So basically this is a string. And again, like we said earlier, you can use either single quote or double quote, and it's going to work. So please take note, you can create your strings, you can have series of them and all of that. So please remember to look through the videos. We did a videos, we looked at list string tuples dictionary. You can look at it. We took a glance on that, so you can look at that previous video. So let's look at string concatenation. By concatenation, we simply means we want to join two strings together. We want to pull them together. We want to join two strings together. So basically, Python allows you to concatenate two strings. So I can have a string such as let's say string 1. So I'll just use the plus sign. Then I have another, let's say string 2. So I could do this. Shift enter is going to concatenate string 1 and string 2. So you see, it's going to join string 1 and string 2 together. What makes this a string? Because it's in a quote, either single or double quote. Want us to try something? Let's make this a double quote. Let's see what happens. Okay, let me just copy this and put that inside and remove this from here. All right, so let's try. One is a double quote and the other single quote. Let's see if we are going to get the result. All right, so if I do shift enter, let's see, shift enter. All right, it will still give me my result. All right, but just ensure you are consistent with whatever you are doing. So again, we could have we could do, let's say we want to print this. I could do the string. This I just like using sometimes single quote, keep. Then let's say we want to add hooray to it. All right, so I could do this, right? Hip hooray. It might not be that all that correct, because in this you have two hip before hooray. So how do I do that? I could just go ahead and do 2, then I'll use my multiplication sign to multiply hip, then hooray. So see what we have. You see, it's going to print hip hip twice because of this. So basically you can do this. Let me just separate with this. Shift enter again. You see, it will be nicely printed out. Hip hip hooray. So that is basically what you have. Again, talking about string concatenation, you can have a string of numbers, like let's say you have 3 here, then you have plus sign, you have another string 3. So can you guess the output of these? Both of them are strings, so it's going to concatenate them and you are going to get this result 33, because both of them are strings. So what if I do this, guys? What if I want to do this? The first one I have a string 3, then the next one I have an integer. Can I concatenate these two? Let's see. Shift enter is not going to work because you said you can only concatenate a string, not an integer to string. So how do I do this? If I could either change 5 to become string, or I convert this string to become an integer. So that is how it's going to work. So first, let us convert this. All right, let's convert this string to become an integer, then we are going to add. So to do that, you are going to just do int, then you are going to put this in. Sorry. So I believe you can see this. Let's try to run this now. All right, shift enter. So it's going to print 8. Can you see that? Because we have converted this string to an integer. So this is no longer a string, it's now an integer number 3 plus 5, which is going to print basically 8, right? 8. Okay, so let's create another cell below. So basically we could have another one. let's say okay, time to look at string indexing. Okay. What do we mean by indexing? String indexing is string. Basically, string indexing, it refers to assessing individual character within a string by specifying their index position. And one important thing you should take note of is that the index starts from 0. The index of a string begin with 0. So if you have a string of number, whatever, you have to start counting from 0. The next one will be 1, and so on. So let's jump right into our code block, our Jupyter. Let's work things out. So basically, if we have this, and let me just create a string of, okay, I will have this as a string, and I'll just say my name is John Mark. All right, so this is a string. Basically, this is a string. So index, I can index every alphabet in this string from any position. So basically, I could come here and do, in this string of names, I could come down here and I'll do name. What is the index position? At index 0, what alphabet can I have? So at index 0, if I do shift enter, so it's going to print out this. So like I said earlier, the first index starts with 0. So this is at index 0. So the next one, of course, this is 1. All right. So maybe let me just copy this again and bring it here. So what if I can actually index a series of numbers? Okay, a series of alphabet rather. Can index a series of alphabet. I can index from the first position at index 0 to, let's say, the 7th position. What I'm talking about, we could index from the first to the 7th position. So let's do this. Let's see what this is going to print. I'll do shift enter. So you see it's going to print from this first one, from this first index position, all right, which is M, to name. So we could also do that. All right, so basically, let me bring this again, and I could again, what if I want to index from, let's say, the 10th alphabet to the end? To do that, I'll just come here and I'll have to do this. So basically, this means that we want to index from the 10th alphabet. So at the end, you see this other part here, we have from 0 to 7th alphabet. From here, 10th to, if you did not put any figure here in the last part, it means we are indexing from the 10th to the end. So you can count from the 10th alphabet here to the end. Let's see what we get. Shift enter. So it's going to, this is the 10th alphabet. It's going to print from that 10th alphabet to the last alphabet. So again, we can index from the end, from the end position. To do that, okay, let me paste this. I could index, let's say, the second alphabet from the last position. So the second alphabet is this, so I can index that by using the negative sign -2. So if I do that, shift enter, is going to print arrow. Okay, Again, I could index let's say the fourth alphabet from the rare, shift enter. Of course, it's going to print M. All right. So all right, guys, time to look at string formatting. Okay, so what exactly is string formatting? By string formatting is a way to insert various variables into a string in Python. Okay, you can use special syntax that allow you to specify the type of variables to format. So basically, formatting a string, we are creating we create that using method, and the format method takes a string as its argument and a series of variable as its remaining argument. I believe you're a little confused, but again, let's again drop in and do some examples so that you can basically understand what we are talking about. So let's say, let's have an example. We have name. Okay, we have name. This is a string, of course, John. All right, so we could go ahead to print whatever we want to print, then format this string. Okay, dynamically print this name without typing John in the output we want to print. So let's see how we do that. So we could come here, then use the F symbol. All right, we could use the F symbol here like I just did to dynamically print this name with whatever other words or letters we want to print out. Okay, so if I do that, I'm just going to use these double quotes, which is not compulsory. You can actually use single quotes. Okay, let me do this. Then I'm going to do my name is, then instead of typing John, I'm just going ahead, I'll go ahead to do name. So pay attention, this is where the string formatting comes in. So my name is name. All right, so I'm going to close this off. Okay, so basically, again, take note, after this F string that we use here, this F string, we did not add any space. All right, so once you are typing this, you don't have to add a space here. You don't have to add any space there. So okay, so we have to close that string with a single quote like we did earlier. So you have this. So if I hold shift enter, so you can see that it's going to print my name is, rather than repeating this name, it's going to print the content of this name, which is what? John. Is going to print my name is John. So again, let's have another name. Sorry, name John. So then we have another variable, let's say age 30. All right, then we could again print this using the F string. Okay, so all right, so I'll print my name is name, and age years old. All right, so basically I'm going to close that off. My name is name, and that's years old. So I'll close the bracket. So basically, if I do shift enter, all right, it's going to print my name is John and I'm 30 years old. So it's going to replace this name with the variable here, name, and the age will be replaced with the variable here. So basically, as you can see, it's going to format that string accordingly. So again, let's have one more example. Let's say we could use that in our calculation. Let's say x equal 5, and we could have another variable y equals 7. All right, so we could go ahead to use this formatting to print out the product of these two numbers. So I could do print a string. All right, this time let's use a double quote, right? We'll be using single quote. So let's say the product of the product of x, all right, x, the product of x and y is x multiplied y. All right, just like that. Then after then I'm going to close this off. So you can see again, take note, like I said, we could use the single quote or the double quote. So we are using double quote here, and we are formatting the string, the product of, rather than putting 5 here, we have to put the variable name x, and y is x multiplied y. And so let's see what we have. Shift enter. So it's going to print that the product of 5 and 7 is 35. So as you can see, the product of x and that is 35. Okay, basically that is what you have. Look through what we have done so far. I believe you are going to get if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, because we are going to be so that you don't miss out anytime we drop a video. Give us a thumbs up, like, share our videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, just before we wrap it up, we have this quiz on string. So what is the output of this code? Name, tag, globe, name 5 to 9. So what is the output? Please comment the solution in the comment section. So look at it and comment the solution. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the